Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives? Hello, and welcome to another episode of So Are the Days of Our Lives? I am your host, Olivia Willis, and today I am joined by my dear friend, actor, writer, musician extraordinaire, multi-hyphenate queen, Katie Kleiger. Katie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Olivia Willis.
That's it. We talked about this when Emily Dreyer was on my podcast, where I was like, man, you make friends in adulthood and you don't know how to confidently pronounce people's last names. So Katie learned how to pronounce my last name, what, 3 weeks ago, after knowing me since
12 years, 13 years.
Yeah. You know what? Who's counting? What's important is that we made it this far.
It's true. What's my last name? Oh, you already said it.
Kleiger, I already said it. Don't test me on my own podcast. Oh my God. So Katie, thank you for agreeing to watch an episode of Days of Our Lives and talk about it. What, if any, relationship do you have to Days of Our Lives or soap operas in general?
I have none. I
Zero.
went in beyond blind. Like my only understanding of soap operas is Lucky and I are rewatching Friends. I had never seen Friends. So we're watching Friends and I'm watching it for the first time and Joey's on a soap opera.
Yes. He's on Days of Our Lives.
That's right.
He's on Days of Our Lives. They made a comment the other day where I was like, I think they're referring to Joey Tribbiani's fictional character on Days of Our Lives. It's so funny. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the closest I've ever gotten to it, besides 3 days ago when I watched this episode.
Do you feel like something being soapy and like soap opera, whatever, the reputation that soap operas have, it's like permeated the culture?
Yeah, like definitely knew more about the reputation than I actually did about what they were all about. Although I will say there were a few surprises, but a few things that really stayed true to what I thought they would be.
Yes. I think the things that became part of the like bad reputation for soaps have been like reframed into reality TV and like other sort of like unscripted, even like scripted, even like Grey's Anatomy and like This Is Us and stuff, where it's like, this is just a soap opera with like a high production value.
Oh yeah.
And they're not making as many episodes a week. So like
100%.
they can invest more into like a DP.
So much of it is the camera. Isn't that so
Yes.
fun? The camera and the lighting. It's
This
like
is a crazy name drop, but I was at a bar with Jean Smart a couple of weeks ago. This is a really random story. We were at this bar where they were playing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the Gene Wilder. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was Gene Wilder, right? Or Charlie? I can't remember.
I thought it was Charlie, but
the Gene Wilder version was playing, and she looks up at the screen and she goes, "Why are they playing a soap opera?" And I was like, "It's Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory." I didn't say it that judgmentally. I was like, "Oh, it's actually Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory." And then she was like, "Oh, but like the way it's shot, doesn't it look like a soap opera?" And I looked at it, and it truly is just something about the like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm doing a gesture that sort of indicates depth, and I don't know filmmaking terminology, so I can't really.
I think that is the gesture they do.
And it's like framing, and you're pushing, and
no, it's like
ratio aspect or something.
It's gotta be because of how many they're churning out. Like I assume.
Yes.
Okay, look, I know you're gonna get to this.
Yes.
I might be jumping the gun.
No.
But I do watch a lot of reality television, and
iconic.
There is a very, very clear like parallel here.
Yes.
In one of my favorite reality shows and Days of Our Lives, which is Love Island.
Yes.
When I first watched Love Island, I'm a huge Love Island fan. When I was first watching like the OG UK seasons, which are like different than they are now, like I was floored by the low production values.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, wait, because I was used to watching like Netflix reality shows or like Great British Bake Off or something like that. And I was like, wait, this is so like trashy looking and like shitty looking.
Yeah.
It's because they were churning an episode out every
day. Yeah.
Like that's the same thing where it's like the quality, no one can, I mean, eventually you get used to it and it goes away. Like that goes away because you just get so invested. And I will back the British reality model of churning out an episode every day till the day I die, because it is so, and like Lucky will walk in and be like, they're not doing anything. I'm like, I know.
But I'm watching it.
Exactly. You get to really learn about them. It's people. And now I'm like ripping apart like the American Bachelor is because they do one episode a week, they're really just cutting together storylines. Like, so I'm all about that episode every day thing.
Yes, incredible. So that's a perfect segue into my next question. Like Days of Our Lives is one of my main like go-to comfort TV shows if I just need to throw something on the TV. Would you say Love Island is one of yours, if not your top one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm
Not
very,
unfortunately.
you know,
I want to, I think maybe one of the goals of the podcast is to fucking dismantle the stigma of guilty pleasure television.
love it. Love it.
It's
Well, hey,
important.
consider it dismantled.
Yes. Oh my God, we did it. Okay. And everyone, thanks for listening.
Next on
And
the agenda. So yeah, I Love Island, all of it. Yeah, I will do like the Netflix. I will do the ultimatum. Like I do have some boundaries. I found that I can't really watch things that aren't necessarily like when there's no end goal,
yeah,
like like that's tough for me. So if it's just watching people fight
yeah,
for no prize or love, it's like
yeah.
competitions or dating shows. That's my I love.
Nice, nice. As you know from having looked up this episode on Peacock, shout out Peacock, they famously don't title any of their episodes. They're just labeled by the number, like the season and episode number, and then the date that they aired. So I like to play a fun little game of just like, as we go through the recap, we try to pick out what the name of the episode would be. So we'll keep our ears tuned to that. I think we're ready to start.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, let's do it. So today we are breaking down season 60, episode 108, which aired January 22nd, 2025. Guys, I did it. I made it to 2025. It's now currently October of 2025, so I'm still so far behind. This was actually the first episode I considered sending you, Katie, like a little blurb being like, here's what you should know before you watch it. And then literally I was about to send it to you and you texted me that you had started watching the episode. So I was like, no, she's going to go in, like she's going to not do anything. So now I think I'm going to tell you what context I was going to give you before we go into the recap. How do you feel about that?
I'm so interested in putting the pieces together because
Okay.
I do feel like I put a lot of pieces together, but
If I say this and you're like, that actually all means nothing to me, I also won't be surprised. Or you might be like, oh yeah, I kind of got that.
yeah.
Okay, so previously on Days of Our Lives, Leo Stark left a thriving career as lady whistleblower, a gossip columnist for the local newspaper, to become the head writer of Body and Soul, the locally produced soap opera. So right when he struck up a new romance with Javi, someone started publishing new lady whistleblower columns, but instead of gossip, it was all spoilers for Body and Soul.
Ah,
And so they had to have come from Leo's laptop. He was
I'm sorry. Okay.
yeah, the greatest betrayal.
Wow.
The spoilers could only have come from Leo's laptop, so Leo immediately accused Javi of like being this fake lady whistleblower, lady whistleblower, if you will. But Javi swore it wasn't him, and they broke up.
Is Javi in the hat?
No, Javi's shirtless in the bed. Javi's shirtless the entire episode.
Oh, they're together in the
They're
episode.
together now. Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
there was like a scorn lover,
Yes.
and I thought Javi was okay. Got it.
No.
Got it.
No, so yeah, Javi is with Leo at the beginning of this episode. After he broke up with Leo, Javi then started dating this random guy, Carrie in the hat.
Carrie in the hat.
And Carrie apparently also had a history with Leo. Like, this is not something we saw on the show.
Mr. Yeomans.
Yeomans, please. And you better pronounce it correctly on the first try. So, just in the last episode before this, it was revealed that Carrie was actually Lady Whistleblower, and Javi dumped Carrie and got back together with Leo.
Did Javi know that Carrie was that
No,
guy?
Javi found out and broke up with Carrie.
Okay, so Javi knows.
Javi now knows.
Javi now knows.
Javi now knows. Potential title of ep. No. So, yeah, the only other small thing is Bonnie, one of the actors on Bonnie and Soul. Oh my God. Bonnie, one of the actors on Body and Soul, just had an accident in quotation marks on set slash at the hospital because they film this soap opera at an active hospital.
Of course. Well, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of crossover between the hospital and the artistic world, clearly
Yes,
in this little town. Where is this? I know it's in Salem, but apparently it's not
it is
Massachusetts.
not. It's Salem, Illinois, a
Classic.
sleepy suburb outside of Chicago.
And where most hit TV shows are filmed.
Exactly. I think the Chicago suburbs are becoming famous for, I think, locally produced soaps and TV content. Okay, so that's the context. I feel like the lady whistleblower stuff was the stuff where I'm just like, there is so much going on here.
As a fan, I did learn a lot from the Bear episode.
Oh, good. Okay.
But there were so many names, and so I did
Yeah.
write down every
Good.
name that was said, just to Gabby, Bonnie, Lady Whistleblower, Leo, Joy, Philip, Chanel, Johnny, Abe, Mr. Yaumans, Commissioner Hunter, Carrie, Javi Hernandez, Alex, and Kate.
Yes. That needs to be like one of those t-shirts that just like lists names.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But there's a new one for every episode because they name 75 new people in every episode.
Insane. Insane.
Incredible. Okay, so that takes us to January 22nd, 2025. Leo and Javi have reunited. They're in Javi's bed. It's the morning after they've reunited. And instead of soaking up all the romantic bliss, Leo's on his iPad. Did you clock his weird blue screen on his Apple Watch?
No.
That has never happened before. There will be a picture of it on the podcast's Instagram at So Are the Days Podcast. I've never seen a character on the show wear an Apple Watch before. And now Leo's wearing it and they'd put like a blue screen on it. And I'm like, did they forget to like do a VFX home screen on the Apple Watch? It's crazy. And it's bright blue. It's insane. Whatever. I could not get over it.
A little too distracted by the opening line.
That manipulative tool.
I just could. I wrote that manipulative tool. I'm dead. And then this derivative trash.
Yes.
Yeah, the lines right off the bat were crazy.
They pull you in. So yeah, Leo screams that manipulative tool, which wakes up Javi, understandably. So Lady Whistleblower, aka Carrie, has put out a new column that I read as kind of like a beautiful poem. Like the column reads, Leo Stark may think he's won, but he's gonna pay for what he's done to me. And I'm like, oh, so
It's feminine ending. What is that?
yeah, exactly. The near rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Javi points out, Leo didn't do anything but expose Carrie as Lady Whistleblower. But Leo adds, he did actually also steal Carrie's boyfriend, who he's now in bed with. Like I just love that kind of like active present exposition. I stole his boyfriend, who I'm now in bed with, who is you, who I am talking to right now.
I wrote down, why is it written like this? And why don't they give the actors more leeway to improvise? Because that actor, the Leo Stark actor, you can tell every word is
scripted.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, he does not go off script.
I think it's because most of the time they are literally doing one take.
Wow.
So they're like, we have no room for error. And if you make an error, we're leaving it in. So it better be a close call error.
Oh my God. Memorization on these guys, because they clearly are doing what's written. Like no one would ever improvise some of the things that they're saying.
No one would ever improvise like, as I have said in the past.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Javi wants Leo to be done with the fake news, which I hated.
I wrote that.
Bad, tough. And then they snuggle up and Javi assures Leo that Carrie can never hurt them again. And right on cue, Carrie bursts in with a gun. And I wrote kind of a fierce lob. Did you notice like how it was like a layered long bob on Mr. Yeoman's?
You have to understand this was like 45
Shocking.
seconds into the first episode of soap opera I've ever watched, and this was happening, and I wish you could see what I'm looking at. It says in all caps, "Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh my God, it's a dream. I'm dead."
Potential title of ep, Katie is dead.
Yeah, I guess I wrote, because my note is the score. I'm dead.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Katie is dead. Oh, it's just so good. Yeah. Carrie comes in pointing a gun at them. He proclaims, if I can't have you, Javi, no one can. And then it's just an incredible sequence. There's a close up of the gun and then a flash effect, but he does not pull the trigger.
The details that you notice. Like
I'm
sitting here being like, I'm like the blue screen on the iWatch.
Right. But I'm like, so he doesn't pull the trigger, but we hear a gun go off. Talk to me about what that means. I think I'm getting too in the weeds with this show. What was supposed to be on the Apple Watch that we forgot to put in post?
But this is what the show is.
But this is what the power of the show is. Yeah. So, yeah, regardless, Leo startles awake in Javi's bed. It was all a horrible nightmare. Dun, dun, dun. Now at the hospital, I want to shout out the caution tape over the elevator. This is where I was like, okay, they're filming this soap opera in a real hospital that apparently has one elevator bank. When they use the elevator to film a stunt where someone falls down the elevator shaft, that means the real hospital's one and only elevator is out of commission. And now that said elevator shaft is a crime scene and like there's caution to like the elevator's not in use. What are we doing with the many victims of violent crime and illness in Salem?
It's priorities. This city understands the power of the arts. It really lifts up the need for a prop elevator, whatever the hell.
And in a time when public television and public arts funding is under attack, we need only shine a light on the citizens of Salem.
Yeah.
Creating something from nothing and sacrificing their public health for the good of television.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a beautiful thing to turn to right now.
It's so true. Oh my God. So yeah, we're at the hospital. We have exes, Stephanie and Alex, catching up. Stephanie's breaking the news that she and this guy Philip have broken up. And Alex is surprised because they seemed so happy on New Year's Eve. And Stephanie explains that they were, but then she got a very vivid reminder of why they broke up the last time. Basically, Philip is just like doing shady business deals, and Stephanie found out about them and broke up with him.
Okay.
She's a high moral value woman, and she will not suffer
you can tell
corporate greed.
The hair. And
you can tell because she has borderline Mormon curls.
That's what it is. And you know what shoes she's wearing.
Yes.
Like they don't show her shoes, but it's the little boots.
Yes.
The little boots with the, yeah. I did write in this scene. It's interesting. It really feels like all these actors are the exact same type of actor and the exact same level of good.
Yes.
And they do find there's no one person, in my opinion, who's like leading the charge or sticking out like a sore thumb. They're like, we're going for a mid, except for the doctor. Now, I know I keep talking about the doctor, but I think she's a cut above.
Yes. Grounded isn't even necessarily the right word, but like people who are just really natural, it's like a breath of fresh air on the show. So yeah, Stephanie's explaining that she wouldn't have even thought about getting back with Philip if it wasn't for Alex. Long, silent tale. Moving on to the next scene.
Before we go into this next scene,
yes,
I have to tell you that there's two thoughts that I have. The first is that I didn't know this about soap operas. Maybe it was just this episode, but the realization that I had like midway through the show, the episode, was that it's 4 conversations.
Yes.
Is that what every soap opera?
I don't know about other soap operas. Days of Our Lives, that is the structure. It's like 4 to 5 separate simultaneous pieces of action. And then like towards the end of the episode, those conversations end and people like bleed and cross over and you like learn the connective tissue as to why these 4 conversations were happening at the same time. It's
crazy.
Incredible. It's
like,
crazy.
It is really smart. but like I didn't realize that that was what the structure was until midway through. I was like, oh, we're not leaving.
No,
Like you set this up, and the whole episode is just continuing this conversation.
it's like 5 lines of dialogue, cut to a new scene, pick up exactly where you left off. Yeah, it's
But
amazing.
the thing that I had to say is that the music that they chose to underscore the next scene was
Yes.
mind blowing to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I was watching with the subtitles on, and I think it was something like upbeat country music.
Because whenever they go to the goddamn pub, they're like down, like I'm like, it's just a
they,
restaurant.
but they were talking about a woman falling down an elevator, and it was like dee da do dee 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 do, and that was a Seinfeld theme actually, but it
Bam,
was
ba-down. Shout out Seinfeld.
crazy. I
Yes.
was so confused why they were playing that music.
I don't know what the pub, every time they're in that set, that is the background music.
And like meanwhile, like the girl's going like, I think you're victim blaming. She fell down the elevator.
You're like, wait, can we turn down the fucking whatever Muzak is playing in the restaurant?
Oh man. Yeah, this was an interesting intro to these two characters. And this is where a lot of caps came back into my notes.
Because I'll point out Kate Roberts, who we meet in this scene. She's got a lot going on visually right off top, I'll say. So she's wearing this insane jacket that's like kind of military style, but instead of like buttons lining, like gold buttons lining, it's just like buttons everywhere.
Yeah.
Every surface of this jacket has gold buttons on it. She also has bright teal, very long nails, which you see while she's on the phone. And I would describe her hairstyle as funky. Would you agree?
Yes, it was a lot of highlights, right? If memory
It's
serves.
chunky highlights.
Yeah.
And did you ever in the late 90s, early 2000s, like get those scrunchies that had hair on them?
No,
Or was that just me?
I would have never done that. I'm sorry. That sounds horrible.
It was
Absolutely
like
horrific.
synthetic hair. And I remember one vividly that I had that was like spiky.
Oh,
And so
oh.
then, no, so it's like if I had one, I would put it right here on my little top knot. So then I would have like a halo of spiky hair.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it looks like she has kind of one of those on.
Yeah. I can't believe this was filmed this year. That
This
is
was
so
filmed
crazy.
probably last year, to be honest, but like,
Well,
yeah.
an entirely different that
I mean,
that
an entirely
everything.
that changes everything. You're so right. The funky hair was in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get Kate. She's on a one-sided phone call. She is one of the producers of Body and Soul. She's on the phone with this man, Seth, who is the real hospital administrator, but was also a like glorified background actor on Body and Soul. He was in many episodes. It was hilarious. I'm sad we didn't get him in person and we only like heard from him through the one-sided phone call. Kate tells Seth not to raise his voice at her. And she's like, we followed the safety protocol. This is not on me or Abe. And then she's like, I have one more question. Are you still on the show? And then she's like, that's what I thought. Never mind. Thanks for nothing. And she hangs up.
Yeah, you have to understand how unbelievably confused I was.
I'm sure that was a tough one-sided phone call to jump into.
The whole scene,
You needed a lot of context about Seth and his impact on the show.
not just that. I mean, Bonnie fell down an elevator. Who the fuck is Bonnie?
That's
What
true.
elevator?
Yeah, you're so right. And you're like, the music is so loud.
Turn the music down. Who is this child she's having breakfast with at a pub? What is happening?
Insane. Kate angrily hangs up. Joy, who is an adult, she does look very young, but she is an adult and she's an actor on the show. She really, I would categorize her movement as sneaking up behind Kate. Like she just like peeks into the frame. And she asks, what's wrong? And Kate goes, oh, just another fire that's engulfed Body and Soul. And I'm like, this is Shakespearean text. Joy thinks it's drama from Chanel quitting the show. But no, it's about how Bonnie almost died when she plunged down the elevator shaft, and Joy is stunned. So The drama with Chanel is that Chanel is also an actor on the show. Johnny is Chanel's husband, and Johnny is a director on the show.
Uh-huh.
When Joy first came to Salem, Chanel and Johnny were kind of fighting. Johnny cheated on Chanel with Joy.
Sure. Have I met Johnny or Chanel?
No, neither of them are in this episode. But I feel like it's good to know because we talk about it. Joy talks about them later.
Yeah, totes.
So Johnny realized he was mad at Chanel and cheated on her for no reason. Like he thought Chanel was cheating on him, but she wasn't. It was so stupid. So then they were like keeping the secret on New Year's Eve at that fateful party. Chanel found out. So the reason they had the elevator shaft open is because they were killing off Chanel's character because she quit the show.
Oh.
Yeah, that's that on that. We leave this scene off of Joy's stunned expression. Back at the hospital, Abe, the other producer of Body and Soul and former mayor of Salem, might I add. Yes, yes, no joke. He is meeting with Kayla, aka doctor / chief of staff. She holds a very important position at Salem University Hospital. So Abe is there to check on Bonnie. And of course, Kayla can't break HIPAA, but she assures Abe that Bonnie's prognosis is good, but she won't be getting back to work anytime soon. And Abe is royally screwed.
Oh my God. I mean, it's so good. Also, just there's so much. It's like they're talking about how, she can't violate HIPAA. She's very professional. You're saying that she's like the head of she's like very high up.
Yeah.
Knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
It's just so wild.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not willing to violate HIPAA, but you're willing to just leave your job
to be like,
that day.
You know what? They need me. Look, they need me. Now, because apparently this episode is sponsored by one-sided phone calls, we see Police Commissioner Jada Hunter on a one-sided phone call in the hall. She's asking one of her detectives, JJ, to take point on the Rachel Black case. This is a missing child in Salem.
Okay.
But we have too much going on with Body and Soul to deal with her right now.
Yeah. Have they checked the cast of Body and Soul? Because typically what I've heard is that everyone ends up there.
That's true. Oh, yeah. So, they actually recruited her. Yeah. She's replacing Chanel on Body and Soul.
Yeah.
Jada needs JJ to take point on the Rachel Black case because Jada's still at the hospital. The good news, Bonnie Kiriakis is going to recover. The bad news, Jada has reason to believe Bonnie was lured to that elevator shaft and the fall was no accident. Then we cut to a park for some reason. We see a figure from behind in a big black coat, a big beanie, and gloves. They walk up to a brick wall.
That wall, that fake fucking wall is so funny to me. I say this fake ass brick wall in all caps. Oh my God, the red X, I'm dying. What criminal does that?
Yes, the figure, I guess we can call them. The mysterious figure holds one of Bonnie's headshots up to the wall and crosses it out with a sinister red X. This doesn't reek of criminal mastermind, but it certainly isn't not criminal behavior. So yeah, clearly this is the confirmation we needed that this was no accident. And then we go into the intro, sweeping orchestral music like sands through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
I had no idea that's where you got the name from.
Yes, because every episode I'd be like, so are the days of our lives? These are not how the days of my life go. Guys, let's be real.
Yeah, I literally have chills. It's so unbelievable and melodramatic and just it's unlike anything I'd ever seen.
A unique viewing experience.
Truly.
Back at the hospital with Alex and Stephanie, Alex wants to know why he has anything to do with Stephanie deciding to date Philip. And Stephanie just wants to forget it because, he has so much going on. Bonnie is his stepmother and she is currently clinging to life. And I wrote the victim of a red X marking villain.
That's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on. But Alex doesn't give a fuck about Bonnie right now. He wants to know what's going on with Stephanie. Stephanie explains that, back when she and Alex broke up, she said she was fine. She was lying. She wasn't ready to end things. And Alex takes the deepest journey of a breath before finally delivering.
Neither was I. The pause. Olivia, the pause. They let him do whatever he wants.
I saw the emotion well up in his muscular chest. And
Yeah.
if that's not fucking acting, I don't know what is.
I mean, can you imagine bringing that in though? And like a director being like, okay, so we are going to need to cut the
But that's the
pauses.
thing. On this show, they're like, I need you to wait 14 seconds before you say your next line. And I don't know why. Like, where is this? Why does it go so slow?
It's crazy, but you're right. He really went through a journey. We saw that something was happening internally.
Yes.
Or it is very Joey Tribbiani and he's
He was
just
looking for the line. So they were dating,
yeah.
and she is the publicist for Body and Soul. He is one of the actors on the show, famously. It was an HR violation, I guess. And so they were required to break up.
Yeah.
And both of them were like, yeah, it's whatever. But clearly they weren't okay with it.
No, they were made for each other. It's very clear they're perfect together. I
They're
don't
perfect.
know Joy. I guess I do know who Joy is, but she's a fucking child. She's
Yeah,
14 years
she
old.
needs to stay away from that man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, back at the pub, speaking of Joy, Joy and Kate have taken a seat at a breakfast table so that Kate can give the details of Bonnie's accident. Joy's in shock. She was on set with Alex until late, so it must have happened right after. And Kate, like, gives this just showbiz dig that she's like, well, at least you had the sense not to go into a hot set after a stunt. And I'm like, it is the hospital's only working elevator. This is not like you broke onto set after we did like a live fire or something. Like, what?
All underscored by jaunty music.
By jaunty country bangers.
Yes.
Kate's like, I know Bonnie's no professional, but what was she thinking? And Joy doesn't think it's Bonnie's fault. The jaunty music turns sinister here. And Kate goes, well, if it's not Bonnie's fault, whose is it?
Have they checked the park? Because I think that there's a guy out there in a massive hat with a bunch of headshots
up against a brick
wall that he made by going to Hobby Lobby and buying
getting
supplies.
Brick wallpaper. Back to Jada. She's still carrying this episode through one-sided phone calls. This will not be the last scene of just her. Jada doesn't know if she fully believes Bonnie's husband, Justin's theory. So basically what happened is Bonnie got a text from someone in wardrobe saying, come for a fitting. She goes into the elevator. There's no elevator. She falls. Just about to her death. They look, the text was not actually sent from anyone in wardrobe. It was like an unknown number. So they're like, that is someone luring Bonnie down to the elevator. So Jada's like, I don't really know what to make of this, but you know, this text is pretty damn suspicious, she said.
Well, yeah.
Then Jada herself gets a text from Javi. And we don't see what the text says. It just says, new message from Javi Hernandez. Then Jada tells JJ to have a uniform bring someone in because they may have their first suspect. So clearly there was some information in the text that we didn't get the chance to read, that they didn't give us the opportunity to read.
This is helping fill in some gaps for me.
It was a loose scene, I would say. So meanwhile, back with the lovebirds, Javi's bringing Leo coffee in bed and he asks what Leo's nightmare was about. Obviously, it's about Carrie. Javi doesn't think it's a big deal because the whole situation was Carrie's own fault. Like, Javi's being very blasé about Carrie and Leo's like, there's something not right with this guy. Leo's very uneasy because, quote, Nightmare Carrie chose violence.
He says that?
Yes. He literally said Nightmare Carrie chose violence.
That's crazy.
Iconic.
I can't believe I missed that. Thank you for bringing that back.
So Javi tells Leo he texted Jada in case that, you know, makes him feel safer because clearly Leo feels unsafe about Carrie. Leo's wondering if Carrie's going to get into any serious trouble, But Javi doesn't care. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, which I meant to look up. Is that like a real quote or is it just from Taylor Swift?
I don't know. Is that a Taylor Swift quote?
It is a Taylor Swift lyric
Lyric?
from Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince.
Oh, I bet I'm sure
But I
that
don't know if it's like a famous line. And I'm not an educational podcast, so I didn't look it up.
I'm doing it. Oh, okay. I don't think Miss Swift coined it. I think this is a thing that exists in the world.
It's a historical phrase.
Yep, historical from I think medieval times.
Ugh, classic. Okay, so either Javi's like a big medieval history buff or he's a Swiftie. Javi doesn't care about Carrie. All that matters is that he and Leo are together now and they kiss and it's sweet. And Javi wants to stay in bed all day, but Leo has to get to set because who knows what could have blown up literally or figuratively in the last 12 hours. And I'm like, I get it, it's a demanding job, but like 12 hours isn't that long to be away from work. It's actually, I think, famously the amount of time one is meant to be away from work.
Olivia, have you spent time in this community though? Like
In the
things
industry. You're so right. You're so
because
right.
like you spend 12 hours away, what happens? A woman falls down an elevator shaft.
Yeah, and nothing will ever be the same. And people are getting fucking X'd out in the park.
Yeah, in broad daylight,
In
honestly.
broad daylight. To do that sinister of a red X in broad daylight, who knows what this person is capable of?
Truly.
Leo wants to get to set, but then he's like, I'll admit there are more important things than work, like my health, world peace, and you, Javi. And I'm like, this is sick. Stop it. Stop doing it to this man.
I did not like, I don't think they have chemistry. I mean, maybe that's just like a thing in this show is that
Oh,
the
yeah.
characters have chemistry with each other.
No,
But
I think it's not an important factor.
I see. Yeah, but it's also this actor, you gotta love his dedication to the
To the
text.
text. Yeah, basically, because there's all these things that are more important than work, like health, world peace, and Javi. Leo agrees to play hooky from work, but there is something important he wants to discuss with Javi before they get out of bed. Cliffhanger.
Hmm.
Back with Kayla, aka Doctor. Abe is lamenting that they're not only dealing with Bonnie's accident, but now Leo's MIA. Leo, their head writer. And I'm like,
12
have you
hours.
tried to contact him? Like, have you texted him? Have you called him? What? He just hasn't showed up to work yet.
Yeah.
Kayla can't resist the dig that normally Leo being MIA would be a blessing. And I'm like, hate crime, first of all, that's homophobia. And Kayla's like, oh, I just wish there was something I could do to help. And Abe gets an idea. Maybe there
Right.
is. This man's a problem solver, which we're going to get to.
Yeah, you can tell.
You
He
can
really,
tell he learned a lot from working in local government.
the mayor. Yeah. I can't wait to see what Eric Adams is going to do with his reality show. Or I'm sorry, his soap opera.
Yeah, when he starts producing a soap opera in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, with Stephanie and Alex, Stephanie is shocked. She can't believe Alex didn't want to end things. And Alex explains he was worried that they might ruin their friendship, which I'm sorry, I know Life of a Showgirl just came out, but also a Taylor Swift song, Ruin the Friendship.
Oh, wow. I mean, I hate to say it, Olivia, but at this point, isn't everything a Taylor Swift song?
And
Like-
that is so true, Katie. Okay, so Alex was afraid that they would hashtag ruin the friendship. Stephanie thought that Alex was totally over her once he got together with Joy, but that turned out to be a fake relationship at first. I actually don't remember the details of this, but it was like as part of the cover up of the Joy and Johnny hookup, they told Chanel that Alex and Joy were hooking up. Like, and I don't really remember why they had to do that, but
Mhm.
they did start doing it. So Joy and Alex were pretending to date.
Mm.
So Stephanie was like, yeah, I thought you were dating Joy. And Alex was like, well, right, but that wasn't real. And then she's like, okay, but when I saw you and Joy leave the New Year's Eve party, I thought you were leaving to hook up. And he's like, well, we left early because, Chanel found out about Joy and Johnny, so we had to get out of there. And then Stephanie's like relieved because she mentions, Alex showed up to work the next day in the same clothes from the party. So I assumed you and Joy spent the night together. And Alex is like, oh, yeah, we did.
Like there wasn't an easier way to like why he was
It's so
talking smack.
roundabout.
Oh,
Right. We did fuck that night.
yeah. Oh, did I not mention that at the beginning? Because, after saying that it was fake, you probably thought that,
You probably thought that meant we didn't fuck, but I was really burying the lead there. It's so silly.
men.
Fucking, if I had a nickel for every time a man put me through some shit like this.
I mean, to be fair, I clearly was invested at this point because I wrote in all caps. I think this at this point is all caps at this point. Oh fuck, he slept with Joy with like 20 exclamation points and question marks.
Well, because at this point you were like, Joy, what is Joy's age?
14. She's like a classic 14-year-old.
And when you see the pants later in the episode, yeah, I know why you got
Not
14.
helping.
Not helping.
Like, okay.
Yeah, that scene ends on Alex revealing, oh, yeah, we did hook up, and Stephanie being surprised. Rightfully so, since she'd been led down this garden path.
Yeah.
Back at the pub, Joy feels like Kate's like being victim blamey about Bonnie's accident, even though Kate says Bonnie wasn't paying attention and they were following strict safety protocol. I would like to see a copy of this alleged safety protocol. I see no evidence of safety protocol. I will say, having watched the episode where Bonnie fell down the elevator shaft, Bonnie should have seen that there was no elevator that she was stepping into.
This happens in a movie from the 90s where someone falls down an elevator. How are you not? Well, look at me. Now I'm victim blaming.
Katie, I think you're being like pretty victim blamey right now.
I'm such a Carol. What's her name? Sorry. Spiky hair.
Kate.
I'm such a Kate.
I'm making t-shirts. I'm a Kate. I remember thinking that during that episode. I was like, bitch, there's no elevator. Don't step on there. Anyway, Kate, you are such a Kate.
I know. You should see all the buttons that I have on my vests.
So yeah, Kate's like, it's obviously Bonnie's fault. Joy snarkily blames Chanel because if she hadn't spur of the moment quit the show, they wouldn't have had to put together this slapdash death scene for her character. No open elevator shaft, no fall. I kind of see the logic, but Kate thinks Chanel is basically the last person who could be blamed for this accident. She wants to know what Joy's bitterness is really about. And Joy is annoyed and rolls her eyes, also giving 14.
I was going to say classic 14-year-old. Why are they having breakfast at a bar? And are they friends? They're friends?
I have no idea. They are not friends. I've seen them talk because Kate like is a producer on the show, so she's like around a little bit. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen them talk. This was weird to me that they were hanging out. I think we're led to believe, so Kate's husband owns the pub. And the pub is like a family restaurant. It's like more diner than bar, I would say.
Okay.
Kate's there, I think, in the capacity of married to the owner. And maybe Joy was just there. Like, I get the vibe that they happened upon each other. They didn't meet for breakfast.
I see. Okay.
But the way they're sitting at that table full of breakfast food does give breakfast date. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Mother-daughter date.
Yeah, vibe.
Mother-granddaughter.
No, she has teal nails and spiky hair and buttons all over her jacket.
It was a comment on Joy, to be fair.
Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. Now, at the police station, Jada finally has a scene with another human being. Jada steps into her office to find Carrie in a big black coat and big beanie and big black gloves.
We got to go back one step to the big beanie. Because it's not you're doing a disservice. It's not a big beanie. It's a fucking massive beanie. What is in there? Why is it so tall? I have in my notes, this guy's hat. Why is it so tall? Why is it so tall?
We saw in the dream, in the nightmare at the beginning of the episode, we saw Carrie serve sleek layers. Yeah, what hair could possibly be filling that beanie?
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what's funny is you see a little in the back. There's like this
tuft
that they didn't get in there. And I'm like, why are we stuffing his hair in this hat?
It's like it's a Ratatouille situation and there's a rat under the beanie.
Also, what the fuck weather is outside? Like, why is he in so many layers? Is it winter?
It is winter. It is January.
Oh, right. Okay, fair. Okay, you know what? You win this time. Keep the gloves on in the middle of the office. Take your
That's the
gloves
thing.
off.
He never takes the gloves off or the jacket. I get it. We are meant to say that's who did the sinister red X in the park. But also, this is where my fucking brain goes because I'm like, they're being so obvious that I think it might be a red herring.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I've never seen the show, but I assume it's a red.
It has to be a red herring or else it's so dumb.
Yeah, and like he might as well get out the red pen and start like drawing on everyone's faces.
Right, which is why I'm like, maybe whoever it turns out to be has such a big head or big hair that that's how tall the beanie has to be. I don't know.
I like that you are coming up with an explanation.
Justifying the hat.
Justifying the hat. All right, justifying the hat could be a good title.
Justifying.
It feels very Stephen Sondheim.
It's a Sondheim
Yeah.
reference, but it's linked. Okay, it's on the list. So we're in Jada's office. Carrie walks in. She greets him by calling him Mr. Yeomans. And he goes, wow, pronounced it right on the first try. And I'm like, what are we talking about? We've never said his name before on the show. We've never written his name before on the show. What is this narrative about Yeomans and its spelling and its pronunciation?
It's so, well, you have to understand, I'm coming into it blind. I'm like, oh, well, there's been hundreds of episodes about this, clearly.
No,
Is he a
none.
really new character to the show?
Yes, he's complete. He literally only exists in this function of like, I'm trying to ruin Leo Stark's life.
Wow, I'm just imagining his breakdown, and it's like snarky, like manipulative, big hat,
Could rock a big ass hat.
wears gloves indoors.
Capable of, frankly, anything.
Yeah, great.
So, yeah, wow, she pronounced Yeomans right on the first try. Carrie wants to know why he was brought in, and Jada explains that there was an incident on the Body and Soul set last night. And Carrie does this bizarre fake gasp, and then he's like, sorry, I'm not much of an actor. Oh, this is the other thing about Carrie that we found out like a couple episodes ago. He's like a Body and Soul super fan, but he hates the direction the show has gone in since production moved to Salem. So that's why he's doing the Lady Whistleblower spoilers, because he like has a love-hate relationship with Body and Soul.
Wow.
Basically, Carrie's like, I'm not surprised that there was an accident on set. That show is a mess. Jada explains that Bonnie Kiriakis fell down an elevator shaft after filming an elaborate stunt, which I call bullshit. Carrie asks what that has to do with him, and Jada's going to tell him in, I wrote, 5 to 9 minutes. Now, back at home, Javi braces himself for Leo's big conversation. This is going to be big. But Leo just wants to ask if they're rushing back into things. You know, they fell back into bed right after he was in bed with Carrie. And Javi assures him that it never actually felt right with Carrie because he was always just thinking about
Wearing that
Leo.
hat.
He was wearing this big hat and I couldn't get over it. So yeah, he's like, I couldn't stop thinking about you, Leo, even though like when you apologized, I didn't take you back. I still never got over you. And Javi is just so glad that Carrie is out of their lives for good. And I think this is foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
We actually didn't have to wait that long to go back to Jada and Carrie. Jada explains to Carrie that the elevator was shut down and cast and crew knew to stay away, except Bonnie received a text asking her to take said elevator to the first floor for a wardrobe fitting. And I just have to say one more time, this is say it with me, working hospital. Why is the wardrobe department posted up on the first floor of the hospital? I would argue a floor famously reserved for emergency units.
Yeah, Yeah, again, priorities. The town has priorities. You know what? Hospitals tend to have a lot of people who can't take the stairs.
Right, like gurneys and such,
Yeah,
wheelchairs.
yeah. I guess they are putting that on pause.
They said, let's move Michelle Obama, take the stairs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
So, yeah, I just can't get over she needed to go to the first floor of the hospital for a wardrobe fitting. So, yeah, Jada's just like someone texted Bonnie to go to this wardrobe fitting. Carrie tells her to take it up with the unions. Then Jada reveals that no one in wardrobe sent Bonnie that text. It was a setup. And then she explains that she, Jada, got a text from Javi telling her all about what went down last night. And so I go, oh, the text from Javi was too long to put in a graphic. So we just have
Yeah,
to take Jada's word for it.
yeah.
And Carrie figures Jada wants to pin all of this on him because he's the new lady whistleblower, which is apparently the most scandalous thing one could be. She goes, look, if you want to get your kicks by being a troll, that's none of my business. And I loved her delivery of that line. But since Carrie broke into Leo's laptop to get the spoilers, he also would have had access to other private production info. Plus, he clearly has an axe to grind with the show.
At this point, my thinking is this woman clearly has some power with, arresting people.
She is the police commissioner.
Famously, she just said, and also, how you broke into someone's computer and stole information, that ties you to this crime. I'm like, wait, but that's a crime.
Right.
But that's a crime.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
What?
Carrie swears, with the spoilers and stuff, he just wanted to humiliate Leo. He doesn't mind Bonnie, even though. Why do I keep saying Bonnie? Carrie doesn't mind Bonnie that much, even though she's playing to the cheap sheets. What is wrong with me? This is take 3. More takes than they get on Days of Our Lives. I would be screwed if I was on Days of Our Lives. Carrie doesn't mind Bonnie, even though she's playing to the cheap seats, and the show lives in the close up.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
Was that
love
worth how many times it took for me to say that sentence?
yes, yes, it was. You nailed it in the end. And can you imagine what Days of Our Lives would be if they got 3 takes?
Oh my God, it would be fucking prestige television. It would be better than Severance. And I'm on the record as saying that and believing it.
Get Adam Scott on the phone.
Come on. Adam Scott found dead in a ditch, replaced by the entire cast of Days of Our
And
Lives.
we get his headshot and take a big red X to it against the brick wall. Where's my hat?
Wait, I have to find the biggest hat.
Oh man.
Carrie offers Jada his phone to prove that he didn't send the text to Bonnie. Jada's like, whatever, you could have used a burner. And I'm like, yes, police work. Jada asks if this means Carrie also didn't send the poisoned cupcakes to the cast and crew. So that happened in a previous
Can you
episode.
imagine what I'm thinking at this
Just
point?
a drive-by poison cupcake reference.
Real quick, dropping that in there. So not
Yep.
only do we have a woman who fell down an elevator shaft, we
Correct. We have an entire
and-
cast and crew of people poisoned by cupcakes.
Yeah.
Carrie laughs because Jada has nothing on him. So he gets up to leave and Jada hits him with the, we're done when I say we're done. And she ate with that.
Yeah, she absolutely did. And you know what? She knew she ate because it was a good moment. That's going in her reel, 100%.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Kayla has started playing with her stethoscope to remind us that she is a doctor. She's explaining that, there's nothing she can do to make Bonnie recover faster. And Abe says, no, but you can fill her shoes. They need someone to play Cassandra right away. And it's gotta be Kayla. And Kayla reminds Abe what she told him when they were first casting the show. She's a doctor, not an actor. And I just love the fact that Abe's dream is to have Kayla on the show. And she's just like, no, guys, stop. I'm a doctor. I'm not an actor.
Just a small town girl.
Come on, look, I do medicine. I couldn't be on a show. Abe, I think, helpfully reminds her that no one on the show is an actor, because that is true. They're all just people about Salem.
Wow.
Yeah. And guys, if you live in the right town, it doesn't matter if you have any acting experience. You could end up on a TV show.
It's true.
Abe reminds Kayla that she acted her ass off when she was on an undercover mission with her husband.
I'm sorry, why are they sending the doctor undercover?
Because her husband is like low key a spy, not a spy. He works for the ISA, which is the International Security Alliance, I believe.
Are you sure it's not the International Spy Alliance?
That is what I called it for a really long time, but I looked it up a couple weeks ago. So Kayla's like, yeah, I did good then because my life was on the line, and thank God it isn't now. Abe goes, my life is on the line, plus the cast and the crew. And I do think he means like livelihoods, but he does say life.
He needs to read the room a little bit. They're in a hospital.
I know. And a woman is quite literally clinging to life. Abe insists the show won't survive another crisis. And you can tell Kayla is starting to crack. Now, back at the pub, Joy admits that she might just be pissed about Chanel slapping her for real during filming last night. And then she's like, don't worry, I won't file an HR complaint. But Joy's tired of Chanel blaming her for her marriage falling apart instead of her cheating husband, Johnny. Plus, Joy isn't even interested in Johnny anymore. She's seeing Alex. This is where Joy explains it started as a cover-up, but now they're seeing where things are going. And we verbally establish explicitly that there is no power imbalance in the workplace. So it's all above board if Alex and Joy hook up.
This was a huge moment for me because this is where I realized who Joy was.
Yeah.
I knew the name Joy. I didn't realize that the little girl was Joy. And so I was like, oh my God, is this Joy? I bet this is Joy, is what I wrote. I was really getting into it at this point because I knew that the two hot people in the hospital about this little homewrecker Joy. And here Joy is. She's been under my nose the whole time.
Right where you can always find one of those.
At the bar at 11 a.m.
At the bar at 11 a.m., dressed like a 14-year-old going undercover at a high school, never been kissed style. So we've established there's nothing untoward about Joy and Alex potentially dating, but Kate does want to caution Joy because they've seen how tension on set can affect the show. Like she really pauses. I was like, you started with the right word. Like, how'd you get lost halfway through and then find your way back?
So endearing to me. I don't think I've ever seen a TV show include mistakes. Like I was actually so surprised that I rewound the first time I heard one of the actors trip over a word. And I was like, wow,
that's how people talk.
That's like me. Except it's not because like you can tell that they were like trying to get back on track. And
right, exactly.
Like, but it's like, wow, it's like so, I'm so unused to it.
It is endearing. I do love it. Kate wants to caution Joy, what happens if they break up? Joy assures her they'd handle it professionally. But, Joy's new to Salem and people have been awful to her. And I'm like, no, Joy, you're the worst. Yeah. But she's like, Johnny used me. Chanel blamed me. EJ bribed me. And I'm like, okay, we have this. Once again, this is Shakespearean rhetoric. We're building a list of 3. So basically, Johnny hooked up with her and tried to cover it up. Chanel blamed her for her marriage falling apart. EJ is Johnny's father, who we also didn't meet in this episode, but EJ tried to bribe her to leave Salem so that there wouldn't be any issue between Johnny and Chanel. And she refused because she just loved working on this soap opera so much.
She has great character.
But she explains Alex has been supportive through it all and just made her feel so safe. So much for safety. Cut to Alex explaining to Stephanie that he and Joy slept together, but it was only because he thought Stephanie had moved on with Philip. I'm like, Alex, look, Alex doesn't value you, Joy.
I got confused at this point because who's Joy? No.
Joy is the child.
Who's the Mormon?
Stephanie.
So Stephanie was like really upset that he slept with Joy.
Yes.
I'm like, you entered this conversation thinking that
he had slept with Joy. He led her down the garden path. He got her hopes up that they hadn't actually hooked up. And now she's disappointed, which I agree. It's insane.
Rewind 30 seconds ago. You thought that already. So now she's like, it's like a reveal. I don't know.
Right. No, it's like revert to an older software version of your brain where like this was reality. So yeah, Stephanie to make sure everything's clear. She goes, wow. So you were only with Joy because you thought I was with Philip, and I was only with Philip because I thought you were with Joy.
Wow, so are the days of our
And
lives.
so are the days of our lives. These are the moments I say a lot. Like when I'm just watching episodes, I am known to turn it on and just leave the room. Like I'll turn it on and then just like go start doing other stuff. And so then I'll like come back and I'm like kind of lost. And then someone has a line like this. And I'm like, oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, but my favorite. So she goes, you were only with Joy because you thought I was with Philip. And I was only with Philip because I thought you were with Joy. And Alex's reply is bingo.
Oh yeah. Nailed it. Bingo.
Bingo.
Oh man. He really
Insane.
understands the stakes of this conversation.
Bingo. And he does, it's like gravelly. Bingo. Like I've never heard someone deliver the word bingo like that.
He delivers all of it like that. I mean,
Correct.
that's his flavor.
So then Stephanie is like, well, this is crazy. Like, I'm single. So, and Alex is clearly ready to kick Joy to the curb. Like, he is not worried about Joy, but he does remember that, like, they can't actually be together as long as they're both working on Body and Soul because of the hierarchy between actors and publicists on a TV set.
No,
Not a
that's
thing.
not a thing. That
Not a
can't be a
thing.
thing. The publicist?
It's not a thing.
Publicist has nothing to do with the actors.
No. But then Stephanie has an idea. And after the commercial break, she executes the most insane blocking of this episode, where she takes Alex's hand and walks him backwards across the entire room and they sit together. Like she goes so far walking backwards to these chairs
It's so shocking to change locations too.
from
Like
one part of the room to the other part of the
standing
room.
to sitting on this show is massive because all of a sudden I'm looking at a new wall and I'm like, I've been looking at the same wall for the entirety of this episode. Like it's a huge deal to sit.
It is honestly, and it probably takes a long time to set up a moving shot like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So they sit and Stephanie proposes that she quit as Body and Soul's publicist. And Alex, he's like, I couldn't ask you to quit your job for me. The show is your biggest client. But Stephanie insists it's easier to get a new publicist than to replace Alex as Arrow on the show. That is his character's name.
I lost my mind at that character name. I did just write the sentence, his character's name is Arrow.
Yes, correct.
That is important.
But Alex is confused. He's like, Stephanie, you love your job and you would never have considered quitting until, and then she goes, until I realized how much I'd miss you. And there's a romantic piano trail and he gives a manly sigh to show he is feeling something.
Bingo.
Bingo. Potential title of that.
Yep.
At the pub, Kate warns Joy, the heart is most vulnerable when worn on its sleeve. Days of Our Life Lessons, number 108.
The lessons that a grandmother passes on to her child.
The heart is most vulnerable when worn on a sleeve covered in brass buttons. Joy promises she will protect her heart. And then she decides she's going to go be with Alex at the hospital to support Bonnie. Kate and Joy breakfast is over, disbanded. Now Javi has made Leo breakfast.
They're out of bed. That I'm telling you, it blew my mind.
This is the structure I told you about where they stay together for 3/4 of the episode and then they shift and it's jarring.
Yeah.
So they're in the kitchen. Javi has made Leo breakfast. Leo's plan is to check in with work quickly before taking the day off. And then we get into some laborious soap plot planning. Leo's like, having to write out Faith was hard, but Reagan having Arrow's baby is really going to turn heads. Plus, Cassandra can really be their big obstacle now. Leo keeps going on about how he needs to keep the character Charlemagne in the mix and give the audience the illusion of evolvement. And he catches Javi just staring at him lovingly, and Leo's like, oh my God, am I boring you to death?
I think I'm boring you to tears.
And Javi's just like, oh, not in the slightest. And I'm like, oh my God, I do love them.
Oh, I don't ship them. I don't think they're meant to be together.
I
They
think I just want the best for my guy, Leo. Leo's my guy.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, back in her office, Jada admits to Carrie that they don't have any evidence linking him to the elevator text or the cupcake poisonings. But
Mm.
she knows from Javi that he did break into Leo's hotel room to tamper with Leo's laptop. And then there's this whole like hearsay argument. And Carrie insists there's no proof of him breaking into Leo's laptop either. You know, he told Leo and Javi that he broke into Leo's laptop, but he could have just been bluffing to seem tough in the middle of a love triangle. A classic move.
I've done it. We've all done it.
Carrie chuckles because everyone knows the security at the Salem Inn is mid at best. So Jada doesn't even have enough for a warrant. So the Salem Inn is where Leo lives because he obviously is Eloise and lives in a hotel.
Right, of course.
But it's not that good of a hotel because the security is mid at best.
Mid.
And Jada tells Carrie not to leave town, and he glowers as he goes, and she shakes her head bitterly.
I just need to let you know that here, near the end of the episode, I had still not gotten over the hat because my note is how much hair is stuffed under that.
It's so big. And listeners, go to the podcast Instagram and I will share a screenshot of big ass hat. Back at the hospital, Kayla has decided it's a hard pass on joining Body and Soul. And Abe's like, come on, you already know the lingo. You'll fit right in. Kayla thinks it's insane. Plus, you know, maybe she dreamed about being a TV star as a child, but now her dream is healing people. And she doesn't want to take this opportunity away from a real actress. You know, there must be hundreds, if not thousands, who are dying to be on Body and Soul. Abe, however, does not believe there's a single professional actress available the next day in the greater Midwest area.
I do think as an actor that this is how casting directors make decisions. They see like, hundreds of actors and they're you know what? No. I'm going to go with this guy who's
My
never
doctor
before.
friend.
Yeah.
That actually is true. You know, it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
Famously.
Sandra, Rachel, the doctor,
Kayla.
Karen, Kayla. She's got friends in high places.
She does. Friends with the former mayor, who is now a casting director. He holds an incredible amount of power in this town. So Abe is explaining they will start a search for a permanent replacement right away, but they just need someone to take over, like, until they find someone else. Kayla asks, I think, a fair question that no one else who's been asked to be on this show yet has asked. What if I'm bad at acting? And Abe is positive she'll knock it out of the park. He just needs to get her to a yes. And I'm like, yeah, this is a man of business.
Question. Are they expecting the viewers not to realize it's a different lady?
So this actually happens on real soap operas all the time, where it is truly just like a different person playing the same character. Or, as a matter of fact, the same actor just playing a different character. Happens a lot too. So like the guy who plays Alex used to play this completely different guy. And it's not even their twins. Like, so they also do that. Wow, I'm going on a real rant. They also do twins, where it's like the same actor plays twins. They do doppelgangers, where it's like two people who aren't related, quote unquote, look a lot alike, and they're just played by the same actor. They also do absolutely random recasts. It's incredible.
The confidence to just be like, we are switching out this human for another human.
She's Kayla now.
We're not taking questions at
No,
this.
literally, I have watched an episode of Days of Our Lives that like this woman walks on screen and I was like, who the fuck is this? And then text comes on screen being like, the role of Jennifer is now played by, and then this new actress's name. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's Jennifer.
And how quickly the audience is like, all right, I'm
Okay,
in.
I'm in. Back in the lobby, Alex and Stephanie are holding hands. He admits he misses her so damn much. And he's like, but what if we rush into things and it doesn't work out? And she's like, but what if it does? And I'm just like, it's The Notebook basically happening in this hospital lobby. He grabs the back of her head, which is really one of his classic moves. Then he gets up and he walks away. He doesn't know what to think. You know, the show is already in so much craziness. I love that. Stephanie admits that, you know, the chaos of the show isn't worth it, especially if it means it's keeping them from being And of course, before she can say together, Joy interrupts them, throws her arms around Alex, physically gets in between them.
I hate it when kids do that.
When children do that, throw
Like,
themselves into the arms of your lover.
yeah, it's
Oh
the
my
worst.
God. Joy wants to go visit Bonnie. She needs Alex to show her to the room. And I'm like, bitch, ask a nurse. Alex tells Stephanie they'll catch up later, and he lingers behind Joy, watching Stephanie as they go off. And Stephanie stares off uneasily. I'm obsessed with your face right now.
I'm
Horror.
so deeply. I'm just thinking, I was just thinking that moment, I was like, I've given Joy a lot of shit, but I
Yeah.
feel bad for her. It's not nice to do that in front of the child.
No, no, no. It's a complicated situation.
Mm,
Kids aren't prepared for the world like this,
their frontal lobes.
haven't developed yet. Back in the body and soul writer's room, aka Javi's kitchen, Leo has to rewrite the line, Reagan, I bet you like your eggs like your suitors think of you. Easy. And then he goes, I'll admit it's clunky. So then we get this weird thing where Leo's like, do you want to act out a scene with me to help me write it? So he's like, Javi, you be Cassandra. You're cooking breakfast, but the eggs are burnt. And he just goes, the eggs are burnt. And then Leo's like, ha ha ha, perfect. And they kiss. And I'm like, no, that was not helpful. And you're fucking delusional if you're going to let Javi believe that was helpful.
Oh my God. That was, see, you have to understand, that was the moment where I was just like, what I would give for more chemistry here.
Yeah.
I wanted them to want each other more. And I
It's
just
so
want,
awkward.
oh, it's
It's
not.
always very awkward. So as they're having whatever their version of a cute moment is, full-blown cat burglar Carrie walks right into the house and Leo screams, "Don't shoot!" because Carrie is dressed like a burglar. And Carrie's just annoyed and he's like, ignore the fact that I'm dressed like this. He's like, I just came over to return the key Javi gave me. Plus, I want my sweatshirt back.
I do think that "Oh, don't shoot" was the line reading of the episode. I
Yes.
I don't know
Don't
if
shoot.
it was so funny. Harry's response was just so like, this guy
What?
doesn't give a fuck.
That's why I'm just like, look in the mirror, look at how you're dressed, even if it's to serve a red herring, like, look at yourself.
The gloves.
The gloves. Meanwhile, we get just a single line from Jada. She's in her office. She finds herself on the phone again. She needs a background check run. The name is Carrie Yeomans. And I'm like, shouldn't she have spelled it? Because clearly it's spelled a different way than it looks because he was surprised that she pronounced it correctly. How are they going to run the background check?
That's the next episode is like they can't find
They
him.
can't, they think he doesn't have a record because they spelled his name wrong. Oh my God, if that's what happens, I'm texting you immediately. So back with Leo and Javi, Leo's hung up on the fact that Javi gave Carrie a key. And I'm like, yeah, that actually is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Javi gives Carrie his stupid sweatshirt back, but this is the sweatshirt that broke open the whole lady whistleblower thing. Like, through a complicated series of detective work, they figured out that the new lady whistleblower had a bank account based out of Rochester, New York. And then Carrie started going around in an I Heart Rochester sweatshirt, but then he lent it to Javi. So then Javi was wearing the I Heart Rochester sweatshirt. And Leo was like, I knew it was Javi, but actually it was Carrie.
It's good sleuthing.
That's the lore of the I Heart Rochester sweatshirt.
I appreciate that because I was confused. I was like, that's a very specific detail.
Yeah. Okay, and on his way out, Carrie turns to Leo and goes, tough break about Bonnie Kyriakis. Be seeing you. Ominous. Be seeing you. Psycho.
Yeah, and also that actor was not about to add Al. Like he
No.
looked at the script and he goes, I'm going to say that
Exactly as written. Be seeing you. Okay, now people, storylines are meshing. Abe is at the pub. How crazy was this for you?
I wrote, that's Abe. I didn't know that was Abe. The whole time you have to understand, I'm hearing the connections. The connection. Oh, right above that, I go, that's Carrie.
You're
That's
like,
what
oh my
I
God, pleasure to meet you.
That's Abe. Oh my God, that's her mom. Like
You're
it's
doing it.
boom, 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 boom.
That's why I say watching Days of Our Lives is like mental Sudoku. It's like TV Sudoku. Like it's just like you're finding the numbers, you're making connections.
Should strap one of those
Totally. Your
because
synapses are
everything.
firing. It's like, wait, was she solving a complicated mathematical equation at this moment? No, she was watching the last 4 minutes of an episode of Days of Our
Realized
Lives.
that Bonnie was, or that the doctor
That
was the
Kayla
mom of
was Stephanie. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stephanie. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Abe is at the pub with Kate. He's like, hell of a day. And she goes, Abe, it's barely 10. Abe's got good news and bad news. The bad news is Bonnie has a long recovery ahead of her. And I'm like, duh, that's not news. We all knew that. She fell down an elevator shaft. But the good news is they have a temporary recast. Kayla Johnson has agreed. So Kayla now steps into the lobby to call her husband with the news, and she notices her daughter, Stephanie, ding, 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 mind blown, sulking in the corner. They're like almost matching, but not. Like they're both in shades of mint green, which I think is funny. Kayla can see she looks down. She asks Stephanie what's going on. This is how you know we're ramping up to the end. All the scenes are 2 lines long.
Mm.
So now in this separate waiting area, Joy is reeling from having seen Bonnie like that. Obviously, Joy is making this about herself. She's like, Alex, you and Bonnie were basically the only people in this cast that I could tolerate. So now it's only you. I don't know how I would have gotten through any of it without you. And she throws her arms around him, and he is conflicted on the other side of that hug. This is also one of my favorite things they do on the show is backside of the hug acting.
Yeah, that's big.
It's huge. It is conflict manifest physically.
I've been there, you know what I mean?
Katie.
I've given a hug and I've been like my face, if you could see my face, and they thought the same thing and they filmed it.
And they put it on TV for
Yeah.
60 years. They put it
Yeah.
on TV. It's
Good.
incredible. Leo finally checks his phone, apparently for the first time that morning, and sees the news about Bonnie's accident. And he goes, not to be callous, because I really do like Bonnie, and I feel horrible that this happened to her, and I pray that she's going to be okay. But my story, now who's going to come between Joy and Alex? Guess who? Stephanie. We cut back to Stephanie. So Stephanie assures her mom, she's fine. She's just got a lot going on with body and soul. And Kayla reveals that it's going to get even crazier because she is their reluctant new cast member. She goes, she's only doing it temporarily, and she was kind of only doing it because it would be fun to work with my girl.
I would be mortified. If I was her daughter, I'd be like, Mom, no.
She's like, I quit. I quit so I can fuck Alex again. I quit so I don't have to watch you do this.
You're not an actor. I'm sorry, but you're a doctor.
Work with my girl. They're also they're like as a family very close. Like Stephanie calls her father Papa, which I think says a lot about her. And like they do girl time. Like they're extremely close. So maybe this is a reason for her to stay at this job. I don't know. But Stephanie really broadcasts her conflicted feelings at the end of this scene. Like she really is like, ugh, is the vibe.
Yeah.
Finally, we could not end this episode without one more Jada one-way phone call. She's now talking to Bonnie's husband, Justin, explaining that she had to cut Carrie Yeomans loose because he didn't have a criminal record. And I'm like, this is an example of systemic prejudice. Like, you don't have any evidence, but if he had had a record, you would have kept him. But because he doesn't have a record, you're letting him go? This is fucked up.
So he did commit a crime by breaking into this guy's computer, right?
But they don't have evidence of it because the Salem Inn security is mid at best.
I thought he admitted to it.
He admitted to it to Leo and Javi, but he said, I didn't actually do it. I was just bluffing to make myself seem cool in the middle of a love triangle.
But what about the gloves?
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Carrie did definitely do the Leo laptop stuff, but he's doing this thing where like you can't prove it.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to cut Carrie loose, but Jada assures Justin that if Bonnie's fall wasn't an accident, she will find who was responsible. Then we get the mysterious gloved assassin taping Bonnie's X'd out headshot to a corkboard, and I just need to hold space for the fact that it is double-sided tape on a corkboard. I just can't deal. I cannot stress
Oh,
this enough that it is not being tacked to the corkboard. It is being taped.
yeah, yeah,
And then he reaches for Alex's headshot.
that's right.
End of episode, blackout.
So I am curious why he did it first against the brick wall and then
Right. Why not wait to get to your lair? I think
yeah.
we can call it your corkboard zone
Hmm.
and do that. I think it's just the rush of like, I did it. I'm on my way home from the hospital. I got to stop in this park and X out
Do a
this
little art
headshot,
craft.
do a craft on the brick wall.
Yeah.
Katie, that's the episode.
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
mean, what are our takeaways?
I thought it was incredibly enjoyable. I do like, I can't lie. I do want to know what happens.
Listen, available to stream on Peacock exclusively.
Maybe I'll just listen to your podcast to get my news.
Listen to the podcast to get your news, and I'll let you know if and when you really need to tap into anything because I will definitely return to these. That's the other funny thing is that like these plot lines last for so long because they'll do like a batch of episodes that are all about this, and then we'll like focus on one of the 75 other main cast members on Days of Our Lives. The cast is so big.
Yeah.
So like you can go months kind of without tapping into another sector of the cast.
That's insane.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe this time next year we'll have a resolution on who the gloved beanie bandit is. It won't last for a year. It won't last for a year, but it'll last for a long time. They'll make that shit stretch.
I'm impressed.
Look, Days of Our Lives, Katie's impressed.
Hey, I don't every day. A new script every day.
5 days a week. When they were on NBC, they would take a couple weeks off for the Olympics, and that was it.
Oh my God. I mean, you have to respect it.
The hustle, the grind, if you will. I think we have a lot of really strong contenders for title of ep. I think Justifying the Hat is up there. I think Bingo is up there.
Look, if I'm voting on it, it's very clear, listeners, I am obsessed with one thing, and it's the
The
hat.
hat. It's got to be the hat. Oh my God, Katie, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for
Listeners,
introducing me
thank
to
you.
this.
Thank you for listening. If you like the podcast, give me a rating and a review and make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at So Were the Days Podcast. You can follow me on TikTok at Days of Our Live. I talk about Days of Our Lives on TikTok. I know it's insane. I do other funny stuff on TikTok too. I'm hilarious in case you didn't notice, but I sprinkle in some Days of Our Lives stuff. Katie, where can the people find you if you want to be found?
I West.
Katie, I'm gonna bleep it. I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it. My socials is well, no, when I said socials, I meant social media, not social security number.
Look, it's my name. It's my name, and it's what does he say? Yaumans, you spelled it right.
You're gonna have to guess how it's spelled.
Carrie Yaumans at gmail.com.
Flood his inbox. Incredible. Katie, thank you. Listeners, thank you. That's all, folks.